Hi, I'm Dani Tan, the founder of She Belongs Here and leadership coach, as well as podcast host of You're Overqualified. I'm here to give you that loving push and reminder that yes, you are overqualified and you absolutely belong here. I'm first gen, I'm Asian Latina, I'm a former VP of a billion-dollar organization who went from being a sample coordinator to a VP in 11 years with 11 promotions and 5 career pivots. I left it all behind to do this full time because I have literally been the woman in the room wondering, do I belong here? And I know I do, and so do you. So I work with women who are crushing it at execution, but suddenly realize that nobody has handed them the manual for managing people, influencing up, negotiating, and that's where I come in. We work on the stuff that no one prepares you for, the promotion conversation, the difficult manager, the moment that you go from being the best executor in the room to being told to be more strategic without any actual know-how of how to get there. And so to learn more about what it's like to work together, go ahead and book a discovery call at danitan.com. That's DANITAN.com. Go up there, click on what it's like to work together, and book a call to meet me. On that call, we meet for 60 minutes, and I talk about more of what it's like to work together, understanding your goals and how to make it happen. All right, let's dive into today's episode. So, can't I just do this on my own? I want you to understand, if you're thinking to yourself, can I just do this on my own? Do I need a coach? Do I need support? I can figure it out. I want you to understand what the actual financial cost is of DIYing it on your own. So here are some expensive words. I'll figure it out myself. Now, I'm going to actually do the math today of what DIY actually costs from patterns from women that I talk to every single week. So I am talking to people every single week, whether it's my clients that I work with one-on-one privately, whether it's people who are coming in to talk about coaching, who are looking to get into coaching. And all I do is pattern recognition time and time again to understand where are the common pitfalls that get us stuck to what we need to be successful. And so here's the problem. 2 more years at your current level does not come for free, right? It is the delta between that promotion and what it could have been for your future salary, right? So, for example, if you're stuck at the same level for 2 years at the same salary, you miss out on that future raise. You've been sitting at that same lower base versus compounding, right? Compounding your salary at the higher rate. And so if the next level pays 10K more, 15K more, 25K more, 1 year of figuring it out is costing you $25,000. If that's what that salary increase could have been. 1 year of figuring out could cost you $10,000. If it's 2 years, that's costing you $20,000, right? Because 10 and 10. If it's 3 years, that's costing you $30,000, 10, 10, 10. If it's 25, So I just want you to understand what the expense is by waiting and sitting and like hoping that what we're doing is enough. So 2 years of losing that money of 25K, that's 50K. That is more than any cost of a coach that's going to help you. So 2 years costs you more than any coach on this earth. Just saying. So if DIY feels responsible, like the responsible thing to do, I want you to understand that frequently it is fear wearing a costume saying it's being responsible. If we feel like, oh, I'm being responsible with myself, with my decisions, with my finances, a lot of the times it's because we actually are using the example or word of responsibility, but in reality, it's coded in fear. Like it is just fear dressed up in a new outfit. And it's fear of being able to bet on ourselves. It's fear on being able to believe that we can actually make it happen. It's fear that we can actually make this work for ourselves. And so here is the evidence of what DIY actually looks like, right? So I have had clients who have come in, people who have talked about coaching, being curious. And here's some things that have happened. They've maybe done 100 applications over the course of 6 months and gotten 10 interviews and 4 final rounds, but haven't gotten to an offer. And so they're kind of like, I'm trying to DIY it. I'm trying to like watch this webinar, watch this YouTube video, read this article, find this LinkedIn post to figure out what's the right recipe for me to go ahead and get the right number of applications, to get the right number of interviews, to get the right number of final rounds. That is 6 months of time of like trying. And so I want you to know of like, that is time of not working with someone who specializes in it versus trying to make shift happen of looking at all the videos and all the resources of like, hey, who is someone who is an expert in this field? This has to be me, it can be anybody who's an expert in this field who has systems and practices in place to make this happen, right? To understand where is my pitfalls in the course of these interviews? Where are my pitfalls in these final rounds? Where are my pitfalls of why I'm getting 100 applications but only 10 interviews, right? Because that's 10%. That's 10% conversion rate. So understanding that. Another one is, having vague career conversations with your manager. And then in 6 months, you're not necessarily having a follow up or making an ask. You're still kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with that conversation you had because you're kind of nervous to have direct conversations. And so maybe you're like reading some articles about how to be more direct or how to have difficult conversations, but you're not putting it into practice. Those articles aren't taking into account what your manager is like. Those articles aren't taking into account to the current landscape of your organization or the workforce. And so you kind of just stay in the same place, like again. And another one would be honest feedback. Like maybe you're delivering honest feedback. You are being direct. You are going upward in the sense of what the strategy is. And it actually ends up backfiring badly. And now you're having sleepless nights and you're worried that you have this like black mark on you because you gave this feedback. And that's because we are taking in all these pieces of information, but maybe you don't have somebody there to have that context of, okay, let's map out who is in your organization, who are the leaders, what are their goals of focus, what are their communication styles, how do they like to be worked with, and that's not coming into play. And so things that you're saying aren't landing the way that you want them to land. They're not landing with influence or impact. They're landing with a way that's actually causing harm to what it is that you've been building for yourself. Maybe you're practicing interviews alone with AI and you're like, hey, it's just me and my choice of AI practicing interviews. And then you walk into your first real interview that you've had in like 7-10 years and you kind of freeze because here's a common thread across all of these. Every single person knew logically what they needed to do, right? Great. They knew logically what they needed to do. What they did not have was how to do it inside their politics with their manager and in their body when fear fits. One more time. What they did not have was how to do that inside their politics of their organization with their manager and in their body when fear hits. So information was never an issue. Execution under pressure was. One more time. Information was never the problem. Execution under pressure was. Okay. So when and I'm not like knocking DIY. I've done so many things that I've learned by myself, but this is what I want you to start to understand so you can bucket them. When DIYing works and doing it yourself works, right? Maybe it's a mechanical skill. Maybe it's something that's more low stakes. Maybe it's something that doesn't have politics. Maybe it's learning a new skill like Excel. Maybe it's like learning a new tool. Those are things that will work to DIY. When DIY fails, anything required that you have to be strategic about yourself when you're afraid. So if I have to be strategic about something about myself and I'm afraid, I'm going to be hard on myself because it's myself. And two, I'm going to overly protect myself because I'm afraid. So I'm going to go back to what's familiar and comfortable. So tell me about a time that you have thinking about making a change, making a move. You're like, I'm going to do it. And you have not resourced yourself properly to make it happen. And if that's the case, notice how your brain has you go back to exactly where you are and what you have been doing. So anytime you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to make a change, I can figure it out, I have the plan, they told me, and then you go back to doing the same old thing, that's just because you're afraid and your brain's going to keep you there. I want you to think about times that you have done something new and challenging and scary. What did you need? Do you need an accountability partner? Did you need time carved out? Did you need a coach? Did you need a mentor? Understand what that happens. We cannot read the label from inside the jar, right? Like we need the instructions, we need the support. And so I want you to think of it this way. Asking for help is not a remedial path. You are not lesser than for having help and for hiring help, okay? That is a narrative that we have been told time and time again. We've been told you can be a mom, you can be the eldest daughter, you can be the one that does everything. You can take the notes, you can take the kids here, you can do that. We can do everything. When you were a kid, you could take care of your siblings. No, 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 like period. Think about how much time and liberty other people have to be amazing and awesome because they have more time available to them, right? And so every executive that you admire, they have had a coach, they have had a sponsor, they have had advisors, they have had a board of directors, they have had a team, they have had somebody who has supported them. You think Lady Gaga's out there singing and she doesn't have anybody kind of coach or support team? Do you think any of those amazing executives that you see that are out there don't have coaches or mentors, people to help support them? Even when you were a child and people were taking ACTs, SATs, people had tutors. They just didn't talk about it and you didn't know about it. And so why do you not deserve that for yourself? Why do you not get to bet on yourself and better yourself? Why do you think that someone else is more deserving of support than yourself? And here's the thing, the higher you go, the less anyone does it alone. Do you think like there are senior executives out there who are just, I'm just gonna rough it and do it on my own? No, they have a whole team that's helping them that they have hired. It's the same thing in our personal lives. Like, do you think you have to just rough it and do it on your own, or can you get some help? And there has been so much like amazing positive PR for like the I do it by myself, energy. We don't live there anymore. That's dead. If we want to keep living that way, we can, but it's not what we need. It's not the narrative we need. It's actually holding us back. Being hyper independent, doing it ourselves, figuring it ourselves has served us to a certain point. It does not serve us anymore. It does not serve us anymore. And so if you're like, oh, I don't know if I have the finances, I don't know if I have the ability, it takes a village, right? And so to be a part of that, we all have to have some help and support. And so if you're saying to yourself, well, I've gone this far on my own, yeah, me too. Me too, honey. Like I had gotten a long way on my own, right? As eldest daughter of immigrants, first gen, I was doing it on my own. But the thing that I realized was that I got stuck because here's the thing is that the skills that got me here were not the skills that were going to get me to the next point. Right. And the skills that we were taught by our parents or our family or our friends or our mentors got us to a certain point, and then we kind of got stuck there and we didn't realize that we needed someone else to help shape us for the next piece. And so whether that's like a promotion, getting a new job, whether that's being able to position yourself, whether that's being able to do what you need to do, there are different levels that feel different for a reason and require different types of coaches, mentors, support, skills. And so if you're like, oh my gosh, coaching is so expensive, compare it to the cost of you delaying what it is that you deserve, right? We calculated it. 1 year of waiting, that's a salary increase of 25K. 2 years of waiting of that is 50K, So understanding, calculating the opportunity cost of why you're not doing this. And the thing is that I want you to remember is that we think we're being responsible, but a lot of the time it's coded in fear. Fear of, can I do it? Can it be me? Do I believe in myself? Can I make this happen? And the way you work that out is making sure you partner with someone who's going to make sure that it's going to make it happen for you, right? That's going to work for you. They have a system, they have a process. So I want you to look at those numbers and understand like which one of those are bigger for you. Is it missing out on the future for what you want for yourself? Or is it living in the fear of just staying in the familiarity? And so if you're like, I just need to try harder, trying harder at the wrong strategy is how you get tired and burnt out. And then you're like, oh, see, it didn't work. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and self-sabotage of, I just need to try harder. There are some things we actually just need somebody to help us with, like period. Did you learn how to ride that bike on your own? Or did somebody show you how to ride that bike? Did you learn how to swim on your own, or did someone teach you how to swim? So just know that. And here's the last thing I want you to do. I want you to write down what is the cost of you staying in the same place for 1 more year. Whether that's financially, whether that's mentally, emotionally, whether that's time. I want you to understand what is the expense and the cost of staying in the same place for 1 more year, and what is that delta? And that delta, what could that potentially be compounding for you? If it is waiting to get that promotion, okay, you could wait another year not having that salary increase, or you could go after it and get that, and that will compound for years to come. If it's building that business, you could wait another year not building that business, or you could go this year and start building that business and have it compound to future clients. So deciding what it is you want to do. My hands are all over. I'm all up in it today. So if what you wrote down, the expense of being at the same thing for 1 more year, made your stomach drop, then you know what to do. Go ahead, go to the show notes and book a call with me to talk about what it's like to work together. I'm here to not keep you at mediocrity. I'm here to help you achieve what it is you want to achieve and to make it happen. My whole life has been about understanding systems and where it fails individuals and how to make it work and leverage for us so we can build our expertise, so we can build our wealth, so we can build our success, so we can build lives that we are truly excited about, that we are not forced into. So if you want to build more wealth for yourself, to build generational wealth because maybe you came from a lifetime of, living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you want to build something that you have more time that you can spend time with your family. Maybe you want to build something for yourself of your own business. It does not matter. What matters is taking action and not living in the same place that you have been living in, because that gets really cozy and comfortable. So burn that down. It's time for something new. So go ahead, go in the show notes, book a call with me. A discovery call is 60 minutes. You're going to fill out an intake form so I understand what it's like. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you're looking to go after, and where you're getting stuck? And then on that call, I understand, ask more questions to grasp that, and then give you a customized coaching plan of what it would look like to work together. So I'm not taking on any more clients for the month of August. All clients are going to be going in September. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to wait, then book a call now so we can get you on the calendar and that way you don't have to be put on a wait list. So I hope to talk to you soon. Any questions, you know where to find me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.